Today, I want to talk about something that might sound either completely terrifying or impossible to some of you, which is taking a real break from your business. And I'm not talking about a workcation where you answer emails from a prettier place, although I do love to do that. I mean like a genuine laptop closed, email off, completely disconnected break. And in fact, if you're watching this video on one of the first couple of days we share it, you're watching it as I'm on a Disney cruise with my family in the Bahamas. And you can bet I did not bring my laptop. I am not paying whatever we need to pay to get, Wi-Fi or cell service or any of that. Slack is going to be uninstalled on my phone for when we do have Wi-Fi and all the things. I am intentionally choosing to completely disconnect. Like I am unavailable to my business for the entire trip. And even a couple years ago, that sentence and all those things I just said would have sent me into a panic. It would have felt impossible. And maybe you're feeling a little anxious just hearing me say it. But today I'm incredibly excited for it. And the transformation in how I approach time away from my business has been one of the more important shifts I've made as a business owner, not just for my personal well-being, but also for the success of my company. And it was a transition, right? I needed to see over time that it was safe for me to disconnect. It was safe for me to take breaks. I used to bring my laptop everywhere. I would bring it just in case, or I would say I love my work. I love what I do. I don't want to be away from it. I'm bringing my laptop. And I do love what I do. And even as I was drafting notes for this video, I felt some of those old feelings, that little sense of anxiety creeping in. What about all those creative ideas that are absolutely going to come while I'm away? What if I want to write content because it just feels fun and relaxing while the ideas are fresh? But I also know about myself that I can't fully disconnect if I have access to work, even if it's just for a creative purpose. So I'm going to bring a journal and some pretty pens, and that's going to be what I have. But the reason I'm so comfortable with this complete disconnection is that I have experienced firsthand over the years, over and over, how different I feel, how different I am when I return from real breaks. I come back refreshed. My nervous system is re-regulated when I don't even realize that it's dysregulated in the first place. My priorities are back in order. I don't overvalue work anymore. I am just I'm just chill, right? But I also, along with that, return with a new sense of energy and creativity that makes me more productive than before. My breaks have proven to be a win for my team, my clients, my students, my audience every single time. And I know some of you probably feel some extra resistance because I have a team, right? And you're over there doing it solo. And you're right, having a team does make it easier. But I promise you that taking breaks was possible even before I had the amazing team I have now. It just required a bit of a different approach. And one example I have that comes to mind, that's not even from me, but it was from back when I was a WordPress developer. I had a developer friend who was planning a month-long trip to Africa. She wanted to completely unplug, but of course she was worried about leaving her clients hanging. She had a retainer model. So she asked if I would help with emails during that time and just kind of be on backup if any of her clients needed support. And I'd have done it for free because we were friends, but she of course paid me for my time. It wasn't a huge expense for her, but it gave her the peace of mind to truly disconnect. And very little actually came up during that time that needed my attention. There were maybe a couple of emails I had to answer, and I think one situation with a client that I jumped in on, but that was it. The point is that you can get creative with it. Maybe you have a friend in a similar business who could be your backup for a week. Maybe you can trade backup services. You go on a break, then I go on a break, And for those of you with client work, again, I know it can feel really hard to step away, but there are options. My coach, whenever she goes, she adds extra time to the end of my contract. So if she's gone for the week, she will add an extra week. And even I'm you don't have to do that. I'm happy for you to take a break, right? That just seems like part of what this should be. But it makes her feel better to add that time at the end, which I think is a great option. You can deliver work before or after you break. You can pull in someone else to help. You can offer a discounted month. Do what you need to do, but don't let clients or whatever it is make it mean that you can't step away. You can't take the break that you really need. And honestly, any client that is worth having will understand, and even more than understand, actually support that you taking a week or two away is important and wonderful, at least if you give them a little advance notice, right? So even though I know a lot of you are running things solo, I still want to be a little behind the scenes at how we're organizing things to support me being away, not have to worry about checking my phone, not have my team anxious about me not checking my phone, and then not coming back to a dumpster fire next week. So first I have Kate handling the inbox. She actually always handles the inbox. I never go in there because anxiety. She's handling our inbox and our Facebook group. If I didn't have her and I was only going to be out for a week, I would just put up an autoresponder, put a little note at the top of our accelerator application page that I'd get back to applications once I was back and call it good, right? So like having Kate is great, but the solution for not having a team member is still easy. Ellie is monitoring Instagram DMs just like she always does, but that would not be a big deal if they went unanswered for a while. Kate and Jenny are managing our one-on-one summit support clients. If I didn't have them, I would just have let the client know at the very beginning of the project that I was going to be out. Our accelerator clients are being supported by the whole team like they always are. I let them know in advance to, tag another team member into any conversations I have going with them, to submit anything they want critique from me today as of recording this, or that I'd get back to them once I return. Like, these things are not a huge deal. There was I think the biggest thing we had to do was I was going to have a coaching call with our accelerator VIP clients. We just moved it up a week and let them know, right? We have a launch of the Ultimate Summit Speaker Handbook coming up. So I just kind of hustled a little bit to get everything ready before I left. My team will be putting on finishing touches while I'm away. Actually, later today, I'll be doing all the testing I can to find any issues so that once I'm back, I can do final testing, make sure everything's in order, and send those emails to let everyone know that it's available. So all of those solutions are pretty simple. And they're things that you can do even without a team. Like I said, it makes it easier to have a team, of course, but it's all possible even without it. Okay. So even if you don't have a team, I still want to challenge you. If you don't have any true time off scheduled on your calendar right now, if I were to ask you when's your next break and you're like, I don't know, please go mark a week off somewhere within the next 3 months. I don't care if you are going somewhere or not, just block off the time. If a week is really too much for you, block off 3 days that attach to a weekend to make it a 5-day break. And I do this every quarter, actually. So every quarter, I block off a week on my calendar. Sometimes I'm just I don't know, let's just do this one. And we shift it if we just we want to do something. Sometimes I'm just here. I'm just here chilling, babysitter upstairs with my kids while I'm down here crocheting, watercoloring, reading, doing whatever I want to do. Sometimes we go on extra outings. Sometimes we go on family trips. It doesn't have to be extravagant to give yourself the reset that you really need to come back to your business refreshed and just ready to go and keep enjoying it and loving what you do. And I actually stopped while I was writing notes for this video to mark off my next break because I didn't have one. So the week of September 22nd is going to be my next break. It's going to line up with when I come back from a Christian women's retreat. So it's going to be great to not have to dive right back into work after that and have more time to process. And then I'll take a couple weeks off at the end of December. So I know some of you have to work harder for this, and I want to acknowledge that. Maybe your business isn't making a ton of money yet and you feel like you don't deserve a break. I promise you do. Maybe you offer, again, one-on-one services, and if you're not working, you're not making money. In my experience, you are just always provided for. You just have to trust, right? And the inspiration that comes during and after a break just more than makes up for it. So I want to hear, when's the last time you took a real break from your business? And if it's been too long, get it scheduled and then comment below this video with a date so we can cheer each other on. I think it'll be fun. So thank you so much for watching. I will have fun in Florida for you, and I will see you in the next Summit Conversations video.